vehicle underneath right there. LAPD is around it. I can tell you that 3 suspects bailed out and ran through the neighborhood here, ended up in this apartment complex here in the center of your screen. They were trying to get into that tent, but they actually went into one of the doors here that was open to one of the apartment complexes. We haven't seen them since, although LAPD says one of those 3 suspects are in custody at this point. But let's go to the video of the chase. This was an extremely dangerous chase. Surface streets in South LA. It was going up and down the 110 freeway at times. It ended up on Martin Luther King and went all the way out to Crenshaw and then back on Martin Luther King to the 110 freeway. So many close calls on intersections. The vehicle was driving in the wrong direction at times into oncoming traffic. We had multiple pedestrians that had to get out of the way of this driver. A driver desperate to get away, using any lanes possible to make that happen. But then he jumped onto the 110 freeway southbound, went all the way down and got off on Imperial Highway. That's where the pursuit continued into Nickerson Gardens, and that's where the vehicle ended up pulling over at 111th and Zamora. The 3 suspects jumping out and running into this apartment complex here in the center of your screen. We have not seen the 2 yet come out. The LAPD has a big perimeter set up here. It is fully contained, so they still believe that those 2 remaining suspects are inside of this apartment complex. So now it's just a matter of time to flush those suspects out and get them all in custody. But we understand at least 1 is in custody, 2 still outstanding on this pursuit termination. That's the latest overhead up in Sky 5. I'll send it back to you in the studio.
All right, Gil, thank you. Now to this, friends, family, and colleagues are gathering tonight to pay tribute to Deputy Andrew Nunez, who was shot and killed in the line of duty.
Mourners coming together in Rancho Cucamonga for a candlelight vigil. KTLA's Rick Chambers joins us live from that emotional gathering with the sheriff. Rick.
Yeah, Michael, we just ended this candlelight vigil, and you're right, it was very emotional here in the Rancho Cucamonga Civic Center. We had nearly 1,000 people show up for this, many of them in civilian clothing, although a lot of uniformed officers, as usual, show up for this type of thing. Joining me is Shannon Dykes, the sheriff of San Bernardino County. You had a huge crowd here that must give you a good feeling as far as the community involved.
Rick, it was an extremely good feeling. Knowing that we have the community support out here when things like this happen means everything to the deputy sheriff. In this community and across San Bernardino County, I'm not surprised. They're very supportive of their law enforcement officers. But tonight, as both the sheriff's department and the community, all of our hurt for what happened to Andrew.
Yeah, this is the 6th deputy you've lost since you came in as the sheriff, or the 6th person working for the sheriff's department. This never gets easier. When I saw you up at the podium, it seemed very emotional.
Rick, it doesn't get easier, and I have lost 6 people. I've lost 4 deputies in the line of duty and 2 of our professional staff as well. And the reality is you may be the person in charge, and it's your job to try to say things to make people feel better. And in circumstances like that, that's just not possible. It's really just being there and supporting people.
Yeah, we heard you responding to a domestic violence call. That seems to be so dangerous for your deputies more than other things.
Rick, probably some of the most dangerous calls you can go to, as you imagine, emotions are involved, and that many times the culmination of those investigations means somebody's getting arrested and taken away, and many times your victim can also turn on you, and it's something we try to train for, but very unpredictable.
All right. Shannon, I appreciate you taking time out, talking with us. Shannon Dykes, the sheriff of San Bernardino County. Again, we had a huge crowd here at the Rancho Cucamonga Civic Center. We heard a number of people, including the sheriff, take the microphone. The family of Andrew Nunez would hear, but they declined to take the podium, and obviously we can understand why. In Rancho Cucamonga, I'm Rick Chambers. Guys, I'll throw it back to you in the studio.
All right, Rick, thank you. The homicide investigation is underway after the body of a 7-year-old boy was found in the freezer of an apartment in Linwood. The child's mother, 25-year-old Destiny Harrison, has been arrested on suspicion of murder. The boy's father and grandmother have been arrested as well, accused of conspiracy to commit murder. Bail has been set at $2 million for each suspect. The boy's body was found after deputies conducted a welfare check last night at the home on Euclid Avenue. 3 other children, ages 16, 13, and 9, have been taken into protective custody.
Hollywood producer David Brian Pierce has been sentenced to 146 years to life in prison. Pierce was convicted on 2 counts of murder for the 2021 overdose deaths of a model and her friend who was an architect. The victims, actress Christy Giles and Hilda Marcela Cabrales Arzola, were taken to separate Southland hospitals about 2 hours apart. Pierce was also convicted on 7 counts of sexual assault for attacks on 7 other women. One of the victims spoke after the sentencing about why she came forward.
This man has affected my life. You know, I was sexually assaulted by him in 2010, and after finding out that 2 women were killed at the behest of him, I didn't want to come forward at first, but I felt I was morally obliged to come forward.
Jurors were unable to reach a verdict against the co-defendant Brandon Walter Osborne, who was accused of being an accessory after the fact.
Federal prosecutors have announced charges against a dozen people accused of assaulting law enforcement officers during anti-ICE protests in June. Some of the charges stem from allegations that demonstrators threw rocks and other objects at officers from a freeway overpass.
Some are also accused of damaging government property. KTLA's Annie Rose Ramos has the details from downtown LA.
Agents are still here lining the street.
Federal officers swarming this home in Oxnard this morning searching for 2 people now charged with violence at immigration protests over the summer.
Charged with engaging in violence directed at law enforcement officers.
Back on July 10th, an immigration raid was conducted at this marijuana farm called Glass House Farms in Camarillo, prompting protests in the area. Some of it organized by an immigrant rights coalition called VC Defensa.
These 2 VC Defensa members went to the protests on July 10th in Ventura County and acted with others to assault enforcement vehicles and officers.
Agents arresting one of those members today, Isai Carrillo of Oxnard, but are still searching for the second person, Virginia Reyes, accused of blocking federal agents from leaving Glass House Farms.
Used her vehicle to block U.S. government vehicles from leaving the location, while another member and others ambushed the vehicles by throwing rocks at them. And a federal contract employee was injured as a rock went through her vehicle window, shattering the glass and striking her.
An organizer with VC Defensa speaking to KTLA before federal authorities announced the arrest.
We don't stand with what they're doing, that Oxnard and Ventura County is against this type of terror campaign.
In separate complaints, the U.S. Attorney's Office charging 10 others for participation in downtown LA protests in early June, including blocking the lanes of the 101 freeway.
A group of agitators used the protests as an excuse to throw rocks, bottles, and other objects at officers, injuring several of them.
With authorities saying the search is still on for potentially hundreds more involved in protests throughout the summer.
We will find people and we will charge them. And so, yeah, potentially hundreds.
And the FBI also announcing today they're offering a reward of as much as $10,000 for any info about those who participated in arson or acts of violence during this summer's civil unrest. Reporting in downtown LA, Annie Rose Ramos, KTLA 5 News.
All right, Game 5 of the World Series now underway as the Dodgers try to turn things around.
Yeah, the series tied. Fans are bringing the energy, hoping for something to happen here. Carlos Salcedo live at Dodger Stadium with more. And the lucky hat, of course.
Here we go, Micah and Cher. We're almost at that 7th inning stretch mark here. Our boys in blue are down at the moment, though, 1-3 against the Blue Jays. They had a strong start in the first inning with 2 back-to-back home runs. Kike Hernandez responding with one of his own in the 3rd inning. Of course, still plenty of game left. We still have, 2 more innings to go. Again, 3-1. I spoke with Dodger Nation right before the game. Let's hear from them. Dodger fans are not worried one bit, despite a disappointing loss by our boys in blue the night before.
I think there's a lot of magic left in the season, and so it's way too early to panic. There's a lot of games left. So
series still tied, so we still got this.
Yeah, it's a 0-0 series now, and now it's just the best of 3.
Blake Snell taking the mound tonight. How do we feel about that?
He's got it. He's got it. What do you think? Yeah, he's got it.
The series is now tied heading into Game 5 of the World Series, and it's been a competitive one.
We feel really good. Yeah. We got this. We got it tonight.
Yeah. We put out the juju into the world. It's going to come back. We came here early to bring it to the stadium, so we're feeling great.
I think Snell's going to make the adjustments, so it won't be like, we're ready for what happened in game one. So it's not going to be a bloodbath like it was game one when Snell pitched first. I'm not worried about that. I just hope we get more hitting support. I think we will.
He's my good luck charm.
Yeah. So you brought him. You had to bring him today.
Yeah. Had to bring him. He's got his own good luck charm right there. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
All blinged out for sure.
I even brought a pretty food card.
Oh, perfect.
Blue Jay fans are confident. Some would even say a little cocky.
We're pumped, man. One more win here, and we're back to Toronto for 2. It's going to be great.
You think that's going to happen, though?
I think so. I think to Snell last time. He's going to go down.
I mean, I'd love to see the Dodgers not do the home run ball. Like, they got to shorten their swing, play a little small ball, just do some little pokes. Like, they're all swinging out of their shoes. Want to see them kind of like, get on the bases and really put that pressure on.
The other big story of the day, the heat. Temps slightly above 90 degrees at Chavez Ravine.
It's pretty cold right now in Toronto, I take it. Just soaking in this weather. How does it feel?
We're soaking up the weather, but we're Canucks and we like cold weather as well.
Yeah, and I will say this about our friends to the North. Canadians are one of the nicest people, so it's been such a nice, friendly rivalry so far. And I have noticed more Blue Jay jerseys here at Dodger Stadium today compared to the last 2 nights.